Could you define Irish, German, or New Zealand culture? Or could you say, or could you name aspects that are typical for German, Irish, or New Zealand culture?
Well, typical things. You mean traditional?
Or just keywords that you have in mind when you think about Germany, for example, or Germans.
Germans, they're very precise in what they do. They're very organized. They are tidy. Me comparing them to the Irish culture, because they have a different way of thinking. Again, people in New Zealand have a different way of life again, and really can only experience it by being there. But typical things for the Irish the German mind, having lived in Germany for 16 years, it seems that they don't have certain aspects like they're not organized, what I mentioned before about the German people. They of course have a drinking culture, which probably everyone in this whole world knows that about Irish people, that they're big drinkers. They have great they're sport fanatics. They certain ways, like fighting, for example, is still more common. Drink fighting, for example, more common in Irish culture than it would be in Germany, maybe.
So you would say that there are differences?
Yes, there are big differences in cultures. Not the only, but not just the ones that I mentioned, but again, people in New Zealand, you can see they are a lot more relaxed. More relaxed approach to start whatever they do. Again, the Irish would be the same. They would be more relaxed when it comes to working. They just have a different attitude towards handling.
Do you think that getting in touch with all these cultures changed you?
Certainly. I mean, as people say, traveling broadens your horizon, and that's really true. Definitely, going to New Zealand for a year last year was another journey that showed me that we are all in the core the same, but these cultural conditionings are there, and you grow up with them. So as a child, you don't know, you can't look at it with an objective view.
Okay, would you say that you have innate roots that you can't choose, but you have them, innate roots?
You have, yes. Well, you grow up like that, so you believe certain things are right and certain things are wrong, certain things are just the way people do them, but when you go somewhere else, you see that it's not all so, and you can see it, more clearly that these are roots, genetic roots. I don't think they are not really as such. Maybe in certain areas, but not in. Those 3 countries that I've lived in are all Western countries. They all have this, what you see in Europe.
So you could
certainly
compare
roots, if you compare the 3.
Yeah. Could you compare them? Or could you say that they are yeah, alike or something?
Structure-wise, when you compare them to, yes, of course, certain African countries or
yeah.
the Asian countries, you know, the big differences. I mean, there are similarities in the way we do certain things in all these countries, but there are also big differences, you know.
Yeah.
And you just see that in the way people look at life, you know, the things they find important that other people don't think are important, and
would you say that your own identity is constantly changing?
you learn certain bits. Yes, the identity is changing in the way that you, of course, take certain bits of other cultures that you think are good, and you integrate them into your own life. These roots that you said, these cultural conditionings or whatever they are, they're there. But then when you go and see something else, you see it with an objective view, and you say, well, the way they actually do it it's a lot better. It's a lot easier to handle a certain problem that way, for example.
Okay.
You know, so it has changed, you know, over, you know, yes, of course, speaking a different language as well, and to communicate with people from a different culture. Yeah, they have different lives, and I learned